children and they sleep with hunger, we should praise them for it. You are supposed to raise revenue and provide services. You have failed. You say we should clap for you. Thank you very much. It is only under this government that you bring a budget that is approved on the 31st. And by the 1st of April, you take credit for January, February, March. It is only under this government. But what is the reality? The reality is very simple. The reality is very, very simple. Figures released by the Ghana Statistical Service indicates that as of June, Ghana's economy minus oil and gas grew by 3.9%. In the same period last year with our oil, His Excellency John Dramani Mohammed's government did 6.3%. Now we are being told that when you move from 6.3% to 3.9%, that is a growth of the economy. We understand. Mr. Speaker, we are told that we are reprofiling our debt and therefore our debt will not go up. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I would like to read the Monetary Policy Committee's own report for July. And the Bank of Ghana's Monetary Policy Committee indicates that the reason for Ghana's growth of debt from 122 billion to 137 billion, and I quote, is as a result of the issuance of long-dated domestic bonds. That is the reality. So when you change your creditor, you change the name of your creditor and you extend your tenure, your debt goes up. The reality is that only in the first quarter of the year, we added 5 billion to our public debt. By May, in 5 months, we increased it to 15 billion. That means in April, we increased it by 5 billion. In May, we increased it by another 5 billion. That tells you that we are growing our public debt by an average 3 billion a month over 5 months. And that is fiscal consolidation. Mr. Speaker, gross international reserves, gross international reserves means nothing if you don't compare the depreciation of the cedi. It is meant to provide cushion for your currency. In the same period last year, our cedi depreciated by 0.04%. Now it did 2.5%. So when you depreciate your cedi by 2.5%, it is better than 0.04%. Where do you get that economy? But Mr. Speaker, we keep being told that His Excellency, former President Kufuor, left Ghana 9.6 billion of public debt. I fear for the scholars of finance and economy when we make this. Where in the world do we use nominal values that have stood for over 10 years to calculate present value? Thank you. And these are things that our students of finance are learning. You need to understand that 9.6 billion, when you begin to factor in the time value of money, cannot be 9.6 billion. The reality is also that, as per Bank of Ghana's own economic and financial data released, Ghana's economies benefited tremendously from oil, whereas last year at the same time, we did only 400 million. By His Excellency John Dramani Mohammed's effort, we did 1.2 billion of oil. Again, the same time last year, once we did 2 billion for gold export, we have done 3 billion, an additional 1 billion. Tell me, what did His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and my brother, His Excellency Vice President, did to ensure that oil grew and gold export increased? Nothing. Is it one village, one dam? Is it one village, one dam? Is it one district, one factory? Is it the army worm? So at the end of the day, you are taking credit when you are yet to be on your feet. Mr. Speaker, this economy is on a life support. Our economy is on a life support. And anything to do propaganda with our economy will continue to expose us. The reality is that we don't have money to pay workers when the month is due. The reality is that we are struggling to even get offices for our 110 ministers. The reality is that you have programmed to spend and borrow an additional 3 billion. So in 9 months, you would have doubled Ghana's public debt that could fall left. Thank you very much.
Honorable Daniel Abuadi. Honorable Daniel Abuadi. Honorable